service.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Beyond the Summits World Tour. You're watching Orange versus CLG. I am LD. Joining me is the one and only Luminous. We are both from dotacommentaries.com, and well, off the bat, Lumi, CLG are going to get their hands on Chen. That should be played by Akke, and I mean, it may not be quite as popular or well known as Puppy's Chen, but it's every bit as good, at least the last time I've watched it. So, Orange are going to have their hands full, and the question is, what are they going to get in return?
Just want to speak more about Chen. I'm a big fanboy of Akke and Mirakel. I feel like, you know how sometimes when you watch basketball and be like, oh, they got the best backcourt in the entire region. That's what I feel about CLG. In terms of supporting cast, supporting duo, they are the best duo in Europe. I think that's a big claim to have. But between Akke's superb jungling play and Miracle's versatility with support, they are superb. So I'm very happy to see them playing again. But the picks is right back to Orange, and they're picking up Sanking and Enchantress. So right from the get-go, we're going to see Enchantress Chen battles, creep ceiling galore.
Yeah, and that should be played by Xtinct. So I mean, like you said, this is one of the very exciting things in the world of Dota is with both teams they take their jungler, the Enchantress, the Chen, and well, Enchantress I would say generally has a bit of an edge in that matchup, but what it comes down to is the supporting cast. Who rotates in? Is there some sort of global presence? There won't be a Prophet. Invoker was banned out as well. So maybe not this game. That often can be a factor. But those supports roaming around as well. So maybe doing the double jungling, smoke ganking it up. And, well, there's chaos at the beginning of the game. That's what we often see. Whether it's the two junglers on opposite sides of the world or even better, when those two worlds collide.
And when there's chaos, I think it favors the heroes on the Radiant side a little bit more. If you look at, heroes like Leshrac and Sanking, they have a little bit lower cooldown. They have a little bit more versatile in terms of spells, whether stunning or escaping. In terms of that nature, I feel like it favors Orange. Although, as I say, that Crystal Maiden kind of, balance it a little bit better. Crystal Maiden, of course, very good against Enchantress creep overall. AoE slow is insane for your slow Chen creeps to catch up. So both teams very, very prepared for the laning stage, pushing, counter pushing. We're going to see a lot of chasing if these two worlds collide, as you put it. But if not, then it might be somewhat of a boring early start.
Well, I mean, this is CLG, so no matter what happens, they're going to be pretty aggressive here with the pushes. They're not a suicidal team by any means. This is not a Dare or an M5, but I mean, even pajkatt for a carry player, very good decision making as far as when he looks to engage. And speaking of pajkatt, Lumi, we don't know what he's going to be playing yet, but I would love to point out the fact that there's a Morphling in the pool, there's an Anti-Mage in the pool, and this is not only something pajkatt loves to play, it's also something Orange likes to run, particularly that Morphling. So, very curious to see if either team opts for a hard carry. There's certainly room, as interestingly, they have just both gone for a lot of supports and sort of those early game to mid game heroes.
I love it. You keep everything a little bit mysterious. I don't know what exactly they're going to be picking. Yes, you're absolutely right. Anti-Mage and Morphling are some of pajkatt's traditional heroes. I'm hoping for a Juggernaut. It's one of the signature heroes of CLG. They have definitely the lane for it. Crystal Maiden plus Juggernaut. We've seen it in pubs. We've seen it in so many other pro games. It's stellar. Healing War push plus Chen backup. Oh man, that's a couple of heroes now. CLG will also run the Dragon Knight from time to time. So they got their fringe carry picks if they want to go for it, but you're absolutely right. Morphling is always there. Not anymore, though. Not anymore. Orange instantly bans that one up, and we'll see exactly what CLG goes into.
It's interesting they banned it, though, Lumi, because they have that next pick coming out of the stage, and I mean, this lineup fits perfectly for a Morphling. They have the jungler, they have the Sandkitten and the Leshrac, one of which can definitely be a support if they need to go with that Enchantress. So I feel like this is a game where Morphling fits, but Orange either not wanting the Morphling or they have another carry in mind and don't want to have to deal with him, which is certainly a legitimate option here. Now, one hero that got banned off the bat was the Templar Assassin by CLG, and I gotta say, respect towards Orange for that, because that Templar Assassin, pretty scary in Mushi's hands. Not just in his, but, I mean, as of late, he's been very powerful, but a lot of teams having some good results there. So, I mean, in the second stage, it's pretty much all the carries that the teams can get their hands on being banned out. CK, Morphling, Broodmother, many different styles of carry, but all these heroes do scale pretty well, and that's what both teams are afraid of.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, we are back in the drafting stage. Orange having the first pick. By banning the Morphling, like you said, it makes you want to think they're going to go into a different type of carry. Perhaps you want to skip a carry overall, but they're going to go with the Beastmaster. So yeah, it seems to be a little bit of more mid-game, early-game aggression. Of course, they still can pick into a carry right now. One of the reasons they might actually want to pick the Beastmaster right now is perhaps to deny it to the Dire team with the Ancient stacking on the bot lane. Could be very annoying to deal with, forces you to drop a ward or two on that Ancient camp. But for now, it's a Beastmaster for a little bit of lockdown, which is fairly important against a hero like a Windrunner. And of course, the push ability of that Beastmaster Roar, decent against like Chen Creeps and other slow-moving heroes like Crystal Maid.
Yeah, just so many options left. Even one pick to go for Orange. They could really land this a number of ways. We could see Beastmaster mid. We could see him in the off lane. We could even see some sort of a tri-lane up top with the Enchantress, the Leshrac, the Sand King working together to shut down that jungle. And then another strong solo towards the bottom lane. So Orange have their options here. And with one pick to go, that makes life a little bit trickier for CLG. So we'll just have to see where CLG wants to go. I mean, they need something that at least scales or provides that mid-game sort of threat. Queen of Pain is a big hero on the board. They might be looking towards. You mentioned the DK. And DK could be, normally I think he's a pretty strong pickup, but this game, Orange have a lot of lockdown. The Beastmaster, the Sand King, and the Leshrac. And that Beastmaster Roar, it does go through BKB. So, you don't have to build your DK as a right clicker. You can just build him as that tanky kind of support style. It will be the Queen of Pain for CLG. So they get some mobility, they get some burst damage, but again, very, very squishy. And that puts a lot of pressure on Akke here to get a quick mech, a quick level 6, and be able to help keep his team alive.
Which akke does a very, very good job of. He never really falls down behind in terms of EXP. He always keeps his Chen army up, even if he dies. So I'm not too worried about that nature. I'm more worried about the Queen of Pain. You talked about her mobility, but also it's coupled with squishiness. And there's a lot of great stunts. The Beastmaster Roar, like you mentioned. I assume the Sand King will get a Blink Dagger in some time this game. And that sets up things like Split Earth and whatever else that the Radiant will be picking. Queen of Pain has to kind of get out of harm's way early. On the flip side, though, Queen of Pain, one of the most offensive hero there is. And against low HP heroes like Leshrac and not Anti-Mage, the Enchantress, could pick them off a couple of times. It is going to be the Anti-Mage for the last pick, so we haven't seen him in pro games too often. But yeah. I think CLG's... I don't think you're missing him too much, right?
No, you're not. I mean, now let me just say, if this is a pub game and I'm on CLG, I am just terrified right now because I have 4 squishy intelligence heroes that require some finesse, really good positioning. You're up against a bunch of reliable disables, the Sand King Burrow Strike, the Roar, and then Split Earth becomes reliable because it can be used as a follow-up. And you're all squishy int heroes, so normally in a pub game you will be scared. Now, of course, this is CLG, so they're not going to be afraid of Anti-Mage. But the question is, what are they going to do to deal with them? I mean, in the past, in sort of the bygone days of European Dota, too, at this point, Riki was that really big pick. We saw CLG run it, get the Cloud early, and then just pick off Anti-Mage or his supporting cast very easily. I mean, it's a hero that gives you some great disable and lockdown with the silence, has sort of faded out of the competitive scene, doesn't offer nearly as much as some other carries, doesn't really push that well, requires a lot of farm, pretty squishy. And here's another way to try to deal with it, Lumi. CLG go all in with the triple semi-carries here. It's a Night Stalker.
Yeah, both teams going for massive early aggression. Anti-Mage is seemingly the slowest hero on the map, but even so, depending what build he goes for, he can actually participate in early game fights. And of course, I'm referring to Navi's Anti-Mage Vlads and the Vanguard build. Really just rely on Mana Burst, Blink mobility, and just basically take fight right to them. I don't expect Orange to do that, but the option is always there. But Night Stalker is the hero that's going to be tanking up in the front line. I love the pair between Night Stalker and Chen because he's so tanky and requires so many spells to bring down. Not only are you not bringing down the 4 other squishies, he commands the attention. You have to focus him. And Chen has a lot of time to heal him or send him back or mech him up. I love this choice, and I think it's going to work decently.
I mean, I love the choice. The one thing I'll say is Orange do have the much better late game here. Having the Roar going through BKB, Anti-Mage being the hardest carry on the map, and Leshrac and Sand King pretty beefy supports in their own right if they get the items up. Now, CLG have a bunch of great semi-carries, so if they get the item advantage, if they get the map control advantage, they could definitely take this to the mid to late game. But at some point, that Anti-Mage will get his Manta style, maybe his BKB up, and the silence isn't going to offer as much. So, Orange sort of getting a little bit more late game insured, CLG going for the more aggressive lineup, and we'll just have to see which one pays off. Let's go ahead and introduce the players. Mirakel going to be on that hard support. Crystal Maiden, wards and sentry wards picked up, heading off to the enemy jungle right away. Pajkatt on the Night Stalker, and Misery playing that Queen of Pain. Looks like he'll be rushing a bottle, probably going mid. Akke on the Chen, and finally, oh boy, save me, Lumi. Who is this? Oh,
I don't know. I'm as confused as you are. We should have all 5 members of CLG, in the heart right now. But I am forced to check his Steam profile, and it's gonna be Lacoste.
of course. How could I
One
forget?
of the,
I'm sorry.
one of
I'm
the,
sorry, guys. I know I've offended some Lacoste fans out there, but Lumi, go ahead and introduce Orange. If we have a moment, which I guess we don't, huge clash may be about to break out.
Miracle on the squishiest hero just goes on mass offensive. Now, this is a very interesting pickup on Crystal Maiden, picking up the Sentry Ward. If you're going offensive trialing, which this might be, I know they're going to be backing him. If you're going for offensive trialing and you pick up Sentry Ward, you are going to be aggressive. What you want to do is basically pick off their wards and just basically push a tower as much as you can, gank as much as you can. Look at this aggressive Observer Ward. I think this is going to be offensive trialing just by the warding. But of course, if you're going to be going defensive, the Sentry Ward always good to, de-ward the pull camp so you could, do whatever you want there. Yeah, it's going to be aggressive, but back on Radiant side, it's going to be Winter on the bot lane. Already have Wild Axis skilled up with a Beastmaster. Anti-Mage seems like going to be dueling mid being played by Mushi. His supporting cast is going to be Ice. Interesting. Perhaps on Enchantress is X. I'm not sure what that is going to be. Yamateh, though, is going to get the farm on the top lane.
No, he's soloing mid. He starts with the Portman Shield, tangos as well as the Iron Branch on top of it, which I believe he was pulled by his team. And, well, Mushi is not going to have a fun time, Lumi. This Akke is already starting to rotate towards mid. 1v1 he'll be okay, but he's not alone. Yeah. There's a CM on the field, too. Yeah, well, the CM, unfortunately, can't get in range right now because the Blink is available from Mushi, so for the most part, it's fine. But pajkatt easily pick up fair right level 2, because sometimes that low duration silence is all you need. And Mushi, of course, looking for level 2 as well, because once he hits that, he can actually actively burn away pajkatt's mana. Although, again, you don't want to really trade hits with pajkatt, even at this stage of the game. Yeah, I mean, Night Stalker, although he'll lose a lot of mana trading hits with Mushi, he hits very, very hard. Anti-Mage is the much lower HP pool on top of that, about 120 less, so Mushi will have to play this carefully. The Portman Shield will help. That will definitely help up against the harassment of Akke, up against Mirakel as well. Speaking of Mirakel, he's kind of just hanging around here, maybe thinking that he needs to go help top, where Misery is up against an offensive tri-lane, and that Wildkin Tornado, I believe, hasn't been used yet. That's available, and that can make his life especially miserable. Now, the one thing to consider here, Yamateh needs some farm. Leshrac, or the Sand King needs some levels as well to have that reliable Burrow Strike. At level 1, look at the AoE, very, very small. Hard to actually land that. But for the moment, it is going to keep Misery a little bit concerned. And, well, here we see the rotation, Lumi. Jungle Wars commence. Ice is going to run directly to Dark Troll Warlord. Burrow Strike in. Miracle sent back to base. Is he really going to die? Are you kidding me? He will go down. Oh my goodness, and there you see one of the big downsides to Crystal Maiden. So damn squishy.
So squishy, so slow, and she's a lot of times it's like the innocent bystander in a firefight. You just get shot and you're dead. Like you don't even want to be there, but you're squishy, you're slow, and that's now suddenly the advantage goes to the Radiant side as they're de-warding. Look at this aggressive play by X. And also the offensive ward being placed behind the tier 1 tower on the top lane. Radiant wants to get a push going on. I don't think they will be able to do so now that Akke and Miracle are in position to help out. But at the very least, drew 2 supports from the other lanes. And, they got the initiative. I think they're a little bit favored here.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And, well, here's the one lane we have not looked at. It's that bottom lane, Lacoste playing the Windrunner, Winter playing the Beastmaster. Winter just about has his bottle. Now, I will say Lacoste is definitely winning this lane. 14-2 in the off lane, up against an 8-1 Beastmaster, or 10-1 Beastmaster now. So he's winning the lane, but he's not absolutely crushing it. Beastmaster's still getting his farm, he's still getting his levels, and here's the problem. When that top lane starts to struggle, when CM goes down, that frees up a lot of pressure on the anti-mage. And, I mean, now the pressure is on to pajkatt. Mushi diving after, grabs the illusion root as well. Oh, pajkatt is not going to be happy about that one. And, I mean, Night Stalker sort of needs to win this lane early, and he's just not doing it so far.
Well, the bottle's here right now, and he might be able to win this lane. Very interesting choice to use South instead of the bottle charge.
Ice Burrow strike away. Here we see Yamateh getting held in place, taking a lot of damage. The Edict trying to work the creep down. Misery, big dive, picks up Ice. Now he's going to turn around and back off, and that is something CLG definitely needed. They get on the board. Score 1-1. Miracle is in a lot of trouble here, though. He's taking some big damage, and he's trapped. Yamateh's boxed him out. You hit some basketball analogies earlier, Lumi, and, well, he's in an absolute world of pain. Miracle drops again. Oh boy, you get a kill, and then you're a Crystal Maiden trapped deep behind enemy territory, no relief in sight. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, Misery actually had to burn a Salve just to survive a tower shot as well. And Salve got cancelled, and now Chen hands the other Salve, so a lot of economic self-damage, if you will, just from that one dive. Back in the mid lane, Enchantress gonna offer a little bit of assistance pushing that tower. Night Stalker has roamed off the map to find himself an Invis rune. Hunter Knight and of course Void, no fear of darkness just yet, but Mushi feeling very confident. The Poor Man's Shield being very helpful in terms of warding off a little bit of right click coming from pajkatt, and now I think pajkatt just very reserved in terms of not wanting his mana burned, so he's staying far back, even just using Void to blow up creeps instead of actually right clicking him down. But here comes Crystal Maiden.
Oh, here we go. The nuke in to start, the Void to follow, and the blink away. They just can't do anything right now. They do need that first Knight to begin. He has an Invis bottled up. Boots will be on the way as well. So pajkatt is getting the core items, the bottle, the boots. Would like to have maybe an urn or a pair of power treads before that Knight actually starts. I don't think he'll have it, but 1 or 2 kills and he will. So, Mushi has gone for a very aggressive build, and this is something, frankly, we just don't see much from Anti-Mage. Normally, it seems like Shadow Demon, or maybe even another hero that can create illusions, is in the game early, and so Anti-Mage won't favor leveling up the mana burn. He's gone for this offensive build, great for the laning stage, but when that first Knight hits, if he ever gets on the backbone and has to run, the Spell Shield, the lower cooldown on Blink, these will not be available to Mushi, so pretty aggressive. And Lumi, the other thing I just want to point out is look at Yamateh. In the off lane is Leshrac, 24 and 16. A lot of denies going his way.
Yeah, a lot of denies indeed. And Misery, of course, always constant under the constant pressure of a gank. Never really know where the enemy is because there's insufficient warding from his team. But for the most part, he's doing okay. At the very least, got a kill against the Sand King, right? That was the other surprising factor. Right. I didn't think Sand King was going to be going down, but he did. And also, Anti-Mage has a bottle, which is a little bit interesting, because not sure if that means if he's going to go for some early aggressive build. I mean, do you still get the Vanguard here if you're... Probably not, right? You go for the battlefield, looks like a little bit of engagement on the mid lane, forces Mushi to blink away, no big deal. And Night Stalker now would have to rune control, considering that he is moving very quick in nighttime. Yep, he's going to secure the bot. No, it's going to get picked up. I do believe the Furball perhaps destroyed it.
Bottom lane, the wraparound for Winter. Had the roar, just not quite in range. Mushi has joined the fight. He's ganking. This is a ganking Anti-Mage. Blink in, has the ultimate, and in fact, Lacoste will go down. Man, Mushi gets the kill, and what do we see? Xtinct rotates in mid, starts getting some farms. So, Orange are not skipping a beat here. And the other thing I want to point out, we have 2 junglers. Something that we always like to keep an eye on is how long do those early towers stay up? For the moment, the mid tower for the Dire has taken the most damage, already down below half. A kill or 2 more, and we could see that tower dying. Big smoke gank for CLG. Looking for a backstab here top. Not sure the target's going to be, but we've seen Crystal Maiden die once already to these tower dives. She is going to have to be very careful. And, well, you can't really tower dive if they're on the other side of the tower. So CLG, smoke wears off, they go back, and that's more waste of time here for Akke and his friend.
And even if you're tower diving, one thing to look out for is, yes, that Anti-Mage might actually TP in. He's not going to just rise away on the bot lane. This is going to be aggressive Anti-Mage build. I kind of alluded to it earlier with Vanguard and Vlad's. I didn't think it would actually happen, but it might, considering the start that we have. Crystal Maiden just running in. I mean, Anti-Mage at this stage of the game wouldn't have a sufficient lockdown like a Burrow Strike and a Splurf. He will shred any of these intelligence here. Like, that's how strong mana burn is. It burns 64 mana, effectively adding about 46 damage. 46 damage plus 74. You're hitting for 100 something right now. If you think about it like that, that's absolutely insane for a level 7 hero.
Oh, Akke. Split Earth. Blind up the hill is going to hit. Eat it. Burrow Strike. And Akke is level 3, and he will go down again. Akke just getting completely driven out of his own jungle. And here comes the push mid. No points in the Inner Beast, but they don't need it. Tower goes down to the Radiant. And that's more gold in Anti-Mage's pockets as well as his friends. And sure, CLG have a really strong mid-game, Lumi. But the only player who's really doing well right now, that would be Lacoste. And he actually died bottom once. So it's looking pretty... They're definitely on the back foot, and I guess the question is, what should they be looking to do now? How can they get back into this game?
Some smart counter ganking. They gotta stop Orange at the offense. You can't really... I mean, ganking is always a good deal, but it always feels nice when they're 3-man ganking you, and suddenly you have so many TPs, you force them back, you kill them a couple of times, and then you go for a tower. That's probably what the best scenario for them is. You're mentioning, yeah, that Windrunner is doing very well, but Windrunner isn't the type of those hero that could do well and then suddenly carry your team back in the game. You really want your Queen of Pain to be doing that job, and frankly, I mean, she's not doing too well. She's only level 7 at this point at best, and she does have the nuking power to win you a couple of fights, but at the same time, she is one stun away from being killed all the time, right? A Beastmaster War and a couple of right clicks is all you really need.
Well, we've seen so many times a great shackle shot can turn the tides of a fight mid-game or late-game. It's only level 2, but it should be maxed relatively soon. In they go, they want ice. Frostbite to start, and that's going to be it, actually. They're not going to commit to this. And here's my concern for CLG. It's the first night. pajkatt has been spending a lot of time running around. He's only just now finished his urn about 3-4 minutes after picking up the bottle and the boots. And he's going to make a go for Mushi. This will be a big kill if he can find it. Mushi holding on to that blink. Great fogging here by Mushi, and pajkatt is getting absolutely tripped up. Night Stalker with a haste run is just going to run away. Oh man, the ankles might have just been broken here without Mushi really even breaking a sweat.
It really has been, and of course, nighttime's the time that you want to be afraid of the CLG Night Stalker. At this point, Queen of Pain pushing up on top lane, but a big backstab is going to be coming in from Winter. Beastmaster Roar available. Who does he want? Oh, nice stomp here from the Chen. Will that be enough? Winter gets Nova'd up. The Beastmaster Roar on Misery. Splurf, Burrow Strike, and this is exactly what I mean. She's constantly one stun away from death. Looks like the Enchantress also died in the crossfire. Buyback here from Misery. This is a huge investment. Ice using the sandstorm. Here comes the hasted pajkatt. He runs in right now, taking some big frontal damage. Ice is going to be going down. How much more will they get? This is a huge investment early on for Misery. Blink in here. They're going to pick off Winter as well. Great play so far. Anything else? Here comes pajkatt dodging the spirit of yamateh down to about 75% HP. No shackle shot, no power shot just yet, but they will find the void. And yamateh will be going down as well. This is exactly what I mean. Powerful counter ganking from CLG is what the doctor ordered, and boy, it delivered.
Yeah, they get a couple of key kills there. Sure, you actually do have a buyback, but this early on, the experience and the bit of assist gold should pretty much make up for that. So they get a couple of kills. Now, perhaps more importantly, they may get their first tower of the game, which, when you have a Chen, as well as all these heroes that can spam down waves, you really expect towers to be down by now, but they just haven't had it. Frostbite onto ice after the deny. What a play by him in the face of 3 range heroes. Blink and Scream. They want the kill. No detection. And speaking of counter gank, CLG have to get the hell out of here. 3 heroes grouping up, the Roar cooling down momentarily, and they will back off just in time, but that tower deny. This is gold that CLG desperately need.
Yeah, and they, unfortunately, well, I mean, 100 is still good. It's still good, that's a silver lining, but yeah, they need that gold very desperately. One thing I want to mention is the smart item purchase of Orange. Look at that, double point booster, strength treads on Mushi. They respect the nuking power of CLG. There's a Night Stalker, there's a Queen of Pain, and even, you know, Windrunner and Crystal Maiden aren't shabby nukers in their own right. But now when you pick up this amount of HP, what is CLG actually going to do? They don't have enough right-click power to actually bring them down. The nukes and the stuns are decent, but again, the HP is going to be a big issue. Now you can see that yamateh picks up strength treads as well. Instead of something like Arcane Boots, which is always a popular choice. So I think right now Orange is playing very well in both item choices as well as, you know, actual like playing style in the game.
Oh yeah, I love everything about their strategy, the aggressive early game play by Mushi, getting that kill bottom, really slowing down a Windrunner who's having a great time. And I mean, he has not let up. Power treads on the next pickup. He's had a Quelling Blade here as well as a Magic Wand, Bottle, Poor Man Shield, all very, very cheap, cost-effective items. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we do see that Vanguard Vlad's build like you said, or maybe even just a Manta style rush, just to get rid of that Night Stalker silence, which seems like it might be the one thing that's going to give him trouble in these fights. Now, well, as we look toward Orange, xtinct has that point booster, he's got boots up, and he's level 6.
Oh, she's gonna be absolutely dead. Epicenter gets channeled. Shackle shot does, but the pulls are coming up. Do they still want ice? Yes, they do. Ice gonna get picked off, and now it is Night Stalker in nighttime because of the darkness. Got a couple seconds left in that. They see Orange X, but he's healing, and there's a couple heroes waiting up the hill. pajkatt backs off. 1-for-1 exchange.
They get a kill, but it's only one, and that was a darkness used, like you said. This is not regular nighttime. It will slow down the push for the moment, or possibly punish Orange if they try and push. But I go back to the point I was trying to make, which is akke still doesn't have level 6. He just picked it up 13.5 minutes in. And it's really, you know, it's not so much that akke has really been making any mistakes, it's just Orange had a good start, and they've been punishing him. Sankey and Leshrac just such good initiation lockdown. And even though Chen is his ult now, the question remains, can he actually get it off at the right time in a team fight? He's sitting on 700 health against a team of Disable.
Ooh, Anti-Mage Hasterin just running on Miracle, very low in terms of HP. or excuse me, mana at this point. So Mana Void always a threat, and pajkatt completely trapped. He's gonna get warded up. A single burrow strike is all they really need, not even necessary that distance. Meanwhile, buyback from Night Stalker. Alright, they want to take a fight right under the tower. Do they have darkness? No, they don't. So the Day Stalker gets burrow striked up. Ice half HP. Here comes Mushi in the middle fight. Blinks back down. Hand of God comes in right now, and Ice is gonna be the first target. Oh no! Looks like we have a whole bunch of TP out. Only Sanking goes out, and you know, killing Sanking repeatedly is always nice. Destroy the target, but unfortunately, like that was a buyback from a Night Stalker. I don't think that's worth it.
Right, not at all. I mean, and this is their frontline damage dealer as well as their tanker. And pajkatt, he's got the urn, but no power treads, no phase boots, no vitality booster, no ogre club. I mean, he needs that next level of items in the next 5-10 minutes because Mushi, as well as his supporting cast, they're gonna have it by then. Look at the Leshrac, power treads, point booster, ogre club. Could be an Aghanim's, more likely a BKB, and Yamateh, dare I say it, is as tanky as pajkatt now. Now he doesn't have the armor, but he has the HP, and against all these nukes, the HP is really the more important factor at the moment. I'm getting a little worried here for CLG. I feel like they are running under a clock.
Anti-Mage has a mobility as well, and I think that speaks to a lot. I mean, you have 200 HP less, but the fact that you can instantly get out, that's huge. And I'm going to echo your worry. I am completely worried about CLG right now. They had a very aggressive laning stage. They were supposed to win that, and they didn't even come close to winning it. They didn't even try even. They were very, very far behind. Akke forced to rotate, like you mentioned. And because of that, very low level. Mirakel at this point, only level 6, which isn't bad for a Crystal Maiden. But when you pick a Chen, you expect him to fly ahead in terms of level compared to other supports and have the item show for it. He has a headdress right now. That's it.
And again, we looked at Leshrac, but it's not just the Leshrac. It's Xtinct with the point booster. It's the Sand King here with even the Sand King, who Ice has been dying quite a bit. 4 deaths. Still has a Bracer, Magic Wand, and Boots. I mean, it's more than the Crystal Maiden. And he's also naturally harder to kill. So this is a situation where CM needs more than other supports might to survive. Because she doesn't have that natural survivability that they offer. And here we go, Lumi. Bottom lane, big backstep, wraparound for Lacoste. No Chen heal. Actually, it is up again. There you go. Roar to start. Blink in from Mushi. Mushi's going to get the kill. Is he? Oh. No, uses the ult too early and a big blunder there, not securing the kill. Great chain stun on the Miracle, but he's got a DD. Oh man, Miracle being absolutely flummoxed by these centaurs. And the push, it will continue nonetheless.
Yeah, decent micro here from an Enchantress player, but it won't be enough to at least lock down Misery. Misery is going to be forced away by Mushi. Leshrac destroyed the top tower. What I want to point out throughout all these fightings, look at Leshrac's build. Something that we don't ever see. Just one level of Splurf as he is going to get pummeled down the mid lane. A whole bunch of it just lightning. We'll talk about that after this fight's over, which seems to be right now.
And how thoughtful of the players to just back off at exactly that moment. Usually the opposite of what we see. Normally they're just running in for more kills. Oh, Xtinct, gotta be careful here. Happens to run to the left towards his team, and he will escape. Akke hits level 7, so finally he can have 3 creeps, but here's the thing. I mean, without a mech only having the level 1 Hand of God, I'm not sure if these are really going to last in a team fight. Orange have a lot of AoE between the Sand King, the Beastmaster axes, as well as Leshrac, who, like you said, has gone for lightning. Great for killing those creeps from long range.
Yeah, great for killing, and also it's very consequential. Again, the innocent standby heroes like the Crystal Maiden and Chen, who are so low HP that if you're zapped by lightning, well, that's a big chunk of your HP. Akke adds another buckler too, so he's doing decently. If he has a mech in the next 3-4 minutes, that wouldn't be too bad. But right now, again, Orange on their offense, gonna be pushing down the tier 1 tower. I don't think the Radiant could defend this. And CLG right now, Miracle very low in terms of mana. About 2 Nova left up. I think this tower's done. They should, not.
It would be a little suicidal to defend it. A couple shockwaves, maybe to clear up the creep wave. They're gonna try, and Orange are gonna oblige by backing off. I mean, here's the thing. Orange are still the ones setting the tempo, being aggressive. Oh, the tower not denied. Oh, how do you miss that? 4 heroes there, 3 creeps, and the tower last hit by the Radiant. Maybe it's the lag speaking. Of course, we are not playing on a low ping server for either team. But that hurts. That tower got denied early top, and they're not getting the counter denied that they would like to have.
Yep, and that just go down the drain that you'll never ever get back. That's the unfortunate part. Lightning defending the towers. Fairly confusing. Oh, double 2-man Burrow Strike. Alright, Epicenter gets channel, and it's gonna get the full channel off. pajkatt's gonna get picked off. Hand of God. and not keeping alive long enough. Ice gonna get picked off, but still, the Pulse's damage is out. Chen gets picked off by Enchantress as Impetus, and that should be the end of the engagement. Misery still looking for a pick off here and there, but yeah, great engagement here for the Radiant. Pick off Night Stalker once again. The CLG says we want a little bit more. Misery coming in right now. So such a aggressive play from Misery. There's an anti-mage on the other team, so if you hit by any stun, you're effectively dead. And anti-mage, speaking of which, in the position right now. Yamateh looking for a split earth. Shackle shot does land on 2 hero, but Mushi in position. Gonna see. Oh! Huge mana void. He blinks in for Miracle, and now Miracle is basically dead. No, he doesn't want to chase. He does not want to chase. What the hell is anti-mage saving up for? A freaking car or what? He's got 3,200. I don't know. Yeah,
Lumi, just about a minute and a half ago, he had 2,200. Mushi is getting a lot of gold here. I mean, it goes back to the tower not being denied, as well as the kills he's securing. That ult was almost a double kill, and I fear that might be a sign of things to come. Again, look at CLG's lineup. 4 squishy intelligence heroes, high mana pools, lots of mana to burn, lots of mana for Mana Void to do damage if that mana is missing, and sure, you've got a Force Staff or your Windrunner, but they need more than this. They need the mech. They maybe even need a pipe to deal with Sand King and with Shrek. And I just feel the items are not coming quickly enough. It's CLG picked an early to mid game sort of dominance lineup, very aggressive ganking style, and Orange just shut it down completely. They were the ones setting the tempo, and it's not like CLG are 100% out of this game yet, but this is the opposite of how the game should be unfolding, at least if you pick those heroes. This is not what you want. Blink by Winter, onto the high ground, gets Lacoste with the roar, Split Earth to follow. Force Staff cannot be used, he's held in place. He will go down, and Yamateh with the haste is going to look for Miracle here. Void by pajkatt, the clap as well, actually not going to do too much. Burrow Strike in, they want pajkatt, they're going to get him as well, I believe. The Split Earth, oh, Ice drops low, he will go down. There goes the heal by xtinct, doing some good damage there at the impetus. And I think that'll be it. Some cute little jungle wars back and forth. When it's all said and done, Sand King dies. I mean, that is another story of this game. Oh, that's not going to be it, though. Misery blinks back in. The ult gets Yamateh, Hand of God, trying to keep him alive. X doesn't have the heal. They may even get another kill. This might be another one. Oh, Miracle. That's a dangerous place to be. He will be forced to run immediately. There's the slow. 1 or 2 imps, a couple right clicks, and Miracle gets caught out again. He will go down. Back and forth. Trades here and there. No clear advantage coming out of that fight, except Orange. Well, Anti-Mage gets another kill. And now Lumi, he's up to 4K.
I am guessing it's going to be a Black Game Bar. I really think it's a Black Game Bar. Such an aggressive early build, but I mean, you're not saving for 4K for no reason, right?
Even a Heart. I mean, I just think like that big frontline tanking item would be so good on him.
Yeah. Heart again, non-traditional, but we're just fine here. If you want to go for Vanguard Vlad, I will be a little bit disappointed because he could have picked it up throughout this and could have got a lot of benefit from those small parts as well. But yeah, 4K. Maybe he's just going to be trolling and just not going to spend any gold.
You know, we could always see an Abyssal Blade. That's certainly a possibility. I know it's your favorite item, so that would be a good reason for him to get it. But
no, it's not my favorite item at all.
I mean, this is a problem when the enemy anti-mage is 4,000 gold in the bank, and he's not spending it, and he's not dying, and he's getting kills. By the way, Mushi, despite ganking all game, is leading the way in terms of farm. 104 CS on him. Leshrac next in line with 100. And again, this was an off-lane Leshrac. Granted, a tri-lane Leshrac, but still, off-lane for him. He's almost got a BKB. And what are you going to do when that's up? They have no answer for that. And that's a great point as well towards the anti-mage if he wants to get one. There's no answer for his BKB either, if that's the route he goes. And now it's almost 5K.
Yep, it's really almost 5K on Mushi. I think this might be a little bit trolling involved. Yeah, I think right now Radiant is looking for their completed item Yamateh to finish that BKB, just 100 gold-ish away. They see Misery, again, 1 Beastmaster Roar is all they need. There's a Roar, a couple of right clicks, and of course Mana Void to finish, huge Mana Void and the right click. Mushi just making it look easy, 5.2 thousand gold, purchase a full Manta style. Alright, so that was what he's waiting for. You get rid of Silence, but still great for tanking. And of course those illusions hurt just as much if you're squishy like, you know, Crystal Maiden and Chen.
Oh yeah, plenty of damage to work with. And I mean, CLG really can't kill them off. Look at the item progression by pajkatt right now in comparison. Vanguard on him, Force Staff up on Lacoste, but that's it. No big items for this team. And you know, these items will help. It gives them some HP, gives them some utility. But I feel like Orange just have enough burst that they're not going to care. They'll lock you down and pick you off anyway, even if you have say, 200, 300 extra health or 4 staff to work with.
Yeah, CLG is just grasping at straws right now at this point. Big Smoke Gang not really being successful, but they still remain as 5. And perhaps they can pick off 1 or 2 here. Enchantress. Oh, I think Enchantress have seen them.
Oh,
no, the Beastmaster Boar. Yeah, the Beastmaster Boar and perhaps a Hawk overhead. It's going to be Mushi. Where's the silence? No silence just yet. Mantis would have been able to help as well. And now everybody on forward trip. Blink. Winter, do you have Roar? No, in just a couple of seconds. He's shackled up onto 2 hero. Can he burst Winter down? No, he's very tanky. Down to about 25% health. It's going to be okay. And now CLG on full retreat. Ice is going to get a Burrow Strike for sure. Queen of Pain does kill the Beastmaster eventually, but it won't be enough. Akke pops a mech and Hand of God, but he's going to get picked off. And now Anti-Mage is really hosting the party at this point.
Yeah, he's balling a little bit out of control here for CLG. Pajkatt with the backstab, blinking by Misery. They burst out X, they get him. Mushi still has not been dealt with, has the Mantis style available. Misery almost out of mana, a couple more right clicks and he'll be done. One more blink. Nope, Mushi has the silence on him and he's not going to choose to use that Mantis style. Wanted to hang on to it. Nice body block here by the Centaur. Or is that a Radiant Centaur? Nah, I think... No, that's an Enchantress one. So some T blocking there. Either way, friendly fire, no big deal. Kills were traded in that fight, and I guess the Dire only lost 1, right? So that's a 2 for 1. At the expense of a Smoke Gank, a lot of heroes heading towards the bottom. It's a nice trade, they get something, but they're not killing Mushi. And I feel like if they don't kill him, they just don't have a shot.
I completely agree. They gotta kill Yamateh, they gotta kill Mushi. Getting Enchantress is just not the trade you want to get for whoever they lost. I think it was a Chen overall. So again, it was a numerical advantage, but at this point, Radiant is ahead by so much that such a small trade like that won't matter at all. Especially when Winter, look, I mean, he used the Blink Dagger and you know, he's got a couple of kills with that. But the threat of such, when you have a blinking anti-mage who is actually participating actively in fights, and a blinking like 3 or 4 second stun, suddenly it's a legit ganking combo. It's really, really powerful. And now you have the Mantis out on top of that. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay.
No chance. No chance.
Oh boy. Mushi just slicing and dicing his way to victory here. And I mean, I say victory, it does feel inevitable at this point. If CLG have a comeback in them, they have not shown any signs of it as of yet. Orange just in full command of this game. Mushi, how much gold does he have now? Another 1,600. And it's not like he's farming. Again, he's just pushing. He's ganking constantly. The one thing I will say is, although Orange are getting these kills, although they have the better late game, they're not knocking down towers, they're not taking Roshan. So there's no huge objectives going their way just yet, but that might change soon as Mushi is angling for a blink in here. Lacoste. Ice is just going to walk in, no! 4 staff away by Lacoste, and he will live. Narrowly dodges a bullet, and there comes the split push on the bottom lane by Misery, trying to pull Orange back, and, well, they'll do it for the moment. But Ice might have something to say about that with this backstab coming in.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought out the objective about towers, and even though right now CLG is you know, losing these fights, they're not absolutely dead. And if they win a favorable fight, and I do mean a big one, like a 4-for-1 trade or 5-for-0, something like that, and claim a Roshan, suddenly they're, you know, kicking and then breeding again. But at this point right now, they're very far behind in terms of items. Look at what they have. They have a mech on Akke, and perhaps a Vanguard and Overclock on Pajkatt. And looks like Misery's got a point booster as well as the ultimate orb. That's pretty much what they have to show for, and a 4 staff. It's just a different tier in terms of item compared to a Mantis Owl, a Blocking Bar, and a Blink Dagger from Winter. It looks like a teleportation mid-lane, 2-man Burrow Strike. Epicenter gets Channel Ice. Great start in a team fight. He's probably going to die, but the damage has already been done. Pajkatt trying to do as much as he can. He is barely going to survive. Well, at least for now, he's on the run. But meanwhile, Queen of Pain gets a kill or 2 as well. Looks like the Pajkatt still somehow alive. He's going to pull it out. No, nighttime is already over. Now Mushi, Anti-Mage back in the fight. And, yep, Misery out of mana at this point. Mana Void is up. I'm very surprised that Mushi's not using it. He's going to be blinking to follow. A couple more hits. Come on, big Mana Void time, Mushi. No?
I'm not. Maybe waiting for Lacoste to show up. Oh, he's got it! He's gonna turn 2 here, Lumi. What patience? No, maybe not. Lacoste gets sent home. Lacoste will get away. At the cost of Akke from the looks of it. Blink it, and out come the GGs by CLG. Haven't even lost a tier 2, but it certainly felt over. At least to us as spectators. They just didn't have an answer for Mushi. They didn't have an answer for Orange's aggression, and Orange take a very quick game number 1.
Man, if your anti-mage is ganking and he's leading in terms of CS and item, It's over. It's over. It might not seem like it in terms of tower count and everything, but it's damn over.
Well, in we go to game number 2. So off the bat, CLG, I gotta say, this is not something we often see from them, not going for a hard carry. It's just Pajkatt is so comfortable in that role and usually very successful. So they go for a little bit of a departure in style. Of course, with the international coming up, this is a great time to experiment, and it doesn't work for them in game 1. We'll have to see if they can turn things around in game 2. But yeah, Orange gonna jump out to that 1-0 lead, and I believe they've already played 2 of their matches in this group, so they should be 1-1. If they win this, I believe they're guaranteed to advance. Let me actually confirm that.
Yeah, I could quickly check for you right now. Of course, if you're watching at home, would like to know the full standing of every group or your favorite team, the place to go to right now is dotacommentaries.com. Click on the World Tour tab on the top, and it will have the all the matches, all the VODs, as well as the standing of the team. We are in group number 1. CLG has not played anything, so they're currently sitting at 0-0. Meanwhile, Orange is 1-1, so this is a very, very important series for them. Going 2-1 means you are going to advance very, very certainly. And going 1-2, well, you have
a
little
chance,
bit questionable.
You have a chance there, but it's not guaranteed.
WE is the other team here, going for 0-2. And meanwhile, Zenith is 2-0, so they're definitely advancing.
Right, no surprises to see Zenith on top of the group so far, but maybe CLG will have something to say about that. Although they dropped this game 1, they're not out of this series. They're certainly not out of the group stages. That's going to wrap it up for game 1, guys. Orange versus CLG. I am LD, he is Luminous. You're watching Beyond the Summits World Tour, and we'll be coming back momentarily with game number 2.